Subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest updates.
JP Nadda has replaced Amit Shah as BJP president. Amit Shah was at the helm of the BJP for 5.5 years. And he has scripted a glorious chapter in the party's history. And that's why Nadda has some big shoes to fill. And that's why our question for this episode of Politically Correct was, what are the biggest contributions of Amit Shah to the BJP in particular and to the Indian politics in general? But before we come to that question, let's discuss some basic facts about Nadda. He comes from Himachal. He is about 4 years older to Amit Shah. So he had his schooling in college in Patna. He was in St. Xavier's, Patna. St. Xavier's school. After that, he went to Patna College. And it was for his LLB that he returned to his home state, Himachal Pradesh, where he joined the AVVP, the students' wing of the RSS. And from there, his association with the party started. As an organization man, he is very experienced. He was General Secretary of the BJP in the state. Later on, he became the National President of Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. Then he went on to become the National General Secretary of the BJP when Nitin Gadkari was the President. I think it was in 2010. So, as an organization man, he knows what his job is. And he has been part of the system for a long time. And the biggest advantage he has is Prime Minister Narendra Modi has known him for long. Today, when the Prime Minister was at the BJP headquarters, in his address he recalled how he and Nadda used to ride a scooter together. In fact, if you recall, Narendra Modi was in charge of Himachal Pradesh in late 90s. That was the time when Nadda was an MLA. Nadda became an MLA for the first time in 1993. And he was lucky because most of the senior party leaders had lost in 1993 assembly elections in Himachal Pradesh. Nadda as first term MLA went on to become the leader of the opposition. Later on, he won in 98, then in 2007. He has had three terms, I think, 3 terms in the state assembly. And he was a cabinet minister in the state. And of course, after he came to the center, he joined Narendra Modi government in 2014, he became the health minister. So he had that organizational experience, he had that administrative experience, and he has it in him to basically carry forward the legacy of Amit Shah. How independently he can function, that's a question even we have no answer to, because as we understand, look, Amit Shah may have relinquished the post of the BJP, of the BJP president, and he is going to be very busy in the government as the home minister. But we don't really expect him to, look away from the party and basically not so much interest and just give it to Nadda and Nadda to run. And for all you know, he would be remote controlling the party. But we don't know, probably after a point of time when Amit Shah and the Prime Minister, they are convinced that Nadda can run the affairs, they may probably give him a longer leash and he can do his own things. But for now, as it seems, he will be just carrying forward the policies of his predecessor. Now, coming to the question about the contributions of Amit Shah to the BJP and to Indian politics. Now, as for Indian politics, today I wrote a column in ThePrint where I was talking about, how his biggest contribution has been the way he has exposed hypocrisy in the BJP, in the RSS, and in all other opposition parties. He never talked about the BJP being the party with the difference. So, his entire politics has been, he knows that ultimate objective of politics is power. And Amit Shah did everything possible to achieve that objective. So you may have his predecessors in the BJP, Amit Shah's predecessors, might have qualms about, getting state government dismissed to install a BJP government, or to indulge in, say, some kind of, I wouldn't say horse trading, but well, if you have to lure opposition leaders away, or wean them away from their parties and get them into the BJP fold, Amit Shah was up to it all the time. So, as he himself has said, he talks about Chanakya Niti a lot. So, this Sam, Dam, Dand, Bhed, Amit Shah applied everything to gain power in states. It worked very well, and the way I was talking about how he scripted a glorious chapter in the party's history. Now, if you recall, in May 2014, when Modi came to power at the center, as the Prime Minister, the BJP was in power in only 7 states. By mid-2018, BJP was ruling 21 states. Of course, after that, there has been a slide in the party's fortune in some assembly elections. But even today, the BJP has its chief minister or deputy chief minister in 13 states. That kind of expansion the BJP witnessed under Amit Shah. Now, BJP was hardly anywhere in the Northeast. Now, it's the dominant party in the Northeast. In the Northwest, we know, BJP is everywhere. In the South, yes, Amit Shah has left at a time when the party was preparing to basically expand its footprints in the South, beyond Karnataka. So, there were already preparations. You must have heard how the BJP basically has gone back with Pawan Kalyan's Jan Sena party in Andhra Pradesh. In Telangana, BJP did pretty well last time. BJP won 4 out of 17 seats, Lok Sabha seats in Telangana. And Andhra and Telangana, the erstwhile united Andhra, where the Congress used to be a dominant party, but where the Congress has got decimated now, the BJP is aggressively moving in those 2 states to basically fill up the vacuum created by the decimation of the Congress. What I'm driving at is, while talking about Andhra and Telangana, is even when Amit Shah had become the Home Minister and had Nadda as his working president, he had not lost sight of South India. So his total focus on expanding the party's footprint all over the country remained even when he was busy with government matters. And that's why I'm talking about the BJP's latest initiatives in erstwhile united Andhra, where the Congress was a big force until 2014, but it got decimated after that. It hardly has any presence in either of the 2 states, which were part of united Andhra. How much the BJP can, how deep the foray would be, we don't know yet. But by allying with Jan Sena, the BJP has actually indicated that it's going to give a tough challenge to regional parties there. That is YSRCP of Jagan Mohan Reddy and the TDP of Chandrababu Naidu. So anyway, coming back to the point of how Amit Shah exposed hypocrisy in our politics. Now, if you go to his website, he's very clear how the BJP had become the political arm of the RSS. The fact that has never been accepted by the RSS. The Sangh has always maintained that it has no link with politics. But Amit Shah has been very candid. He has put it out clearly. After a second point, you have never heard Amit Shah talking about the BJP being a party with a difference. So his predecessors would be saying, no, we won't do what they believed were virtues of morality, probity. We won't be basically welcoming defectors. We won't be engineering defections in other parties. Amit Shah didn't have any such qualms. You saw all over the country the way the opposition ruled governments were dismissed. The way, say in Arunachal Pradesh, for instance, now you had Pema Khandu. He crossed over with 33 MLAs to the BJP and formed the government. So Arunachal has a BJP government now. Later on, of course, Khandu-led party went on to get a mandate, secure a clear mandate in the assembly elections. But the way the entire switchover happened. So this so-called party with a difference, that entire slogan was kind of abandoned. Because it was about a party now which was in total pursuit of power. Then you come to how he exposed the hypocrisy in the opposition parties. The so-called secular brigade in our politics. Look at the confusion in their ranks. They cannot even, while they have been accusing the BJP of pursuing communal agenda, of driving a very aggressive Hindutva campaign, you don't see any of these people coming out to join anti-CAA protests. You haven't seen any prominent opposition politician going to Shaheen Bagh in Delhi, where protesters have been sitting for several weeks. You never saw any of them going to Jama Masjid, except Chandrasekhar Azad, the Bhim Army. These people are on the defensive, and that's why I'm saying that Amit Shah exposed the opposition's hypocrisy too. As for the BJP, you know how the party became the largest party in the world. That was during the last membership drive, where it crossed. See, Communist Party of China has 8 crore members. BJP got 11 crores in the last membership drive. This time they have increased it by 5 crores more. This kind of expansion of the party, this kind of expansion of the party's footprint across the country, you may credit Prime Minister Narendra Modi for this expansion because his popularity remains undiminished, and he has, since he became the face of the party, this entire northward trajectory started. You may credit him for that, but you can't really take away the kind of hard work and grit Amit Shah put into it. Now, if you look at his website, going by his claims, in his first year, he traveled over 500 kilometers a day. We have seen him last 5.5 years, Amit Shah has been traveling to every nook and corner of the country. He would be meeting booth level workers, he would be meeting what they call Panna Pramukhs, basically going to every district and mobilizing party workers. And that contributes a lot. I mean, you need voters to come to the booths. You need people who would be propagating your ideology, who would be showcasing your government's works on the ground. Of course, much of the credit goes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi's popularity. I mean, in terms of the expansion of the BJP. But as I said, you cannot take away the kind of effort Amit Shah made as party president. None of his predecessors did as he did. And that's why I said at the very beginning that Nadda has some big shoes to fill. I'll take some questions sent by our viewers now.
Hello, this is DK Singh from Kolkata. I would like to ask whether JP Nadda will have his own style of running the party or will simply imitate Amit Shah's hard-handed politics.
Abhishek, it's very difficult to say whether he'll have his own style of functioning now, because I'm sure at least in initial few months, he's going to take guidance from Amit Shah almost every day. And he's going to be remote control, there is no doubt about it. He will be carrying forward the policies put in place by Amit Shah. But where he can make the difference is, under Amit Shah, there was this perception that the BJP has become Congressized, in the sense that it has a very centralized system of functioning. It has this high commandist culture. On that point, I don't think Amit Shah, Nadda can do much, because Narendra Modi and Amit Shah will be actually deciding the directions and course of the party. Where he can make the changes, again coming back to the Congressization point, we saw some veteran leaders, mass leaders like Shivraj Singh Chauhan of Madhya Pradesh, Vasundhara Raje of Rajasthan, and Raman Singh of Chhattisgarh. They have been on the sidelines of the party. Under Nadda, we have to see if these mass leaders would be actually brought back into the mainstream and given prominent roles. That he can do. Then we just talk about the clique which had developed during Amit Shah's tenure. Now, most of the general secretaries you see, they're ruthless wonders. Just because Shah liked them, many of them became general secretaries, and they were calling the shots in the party. Now, with new leadership, probably there may be some change. You may see some fresh faces at the top echelons of the party. But that's about it. I don't really see Nadda making any drastic changes. How many people from Amit Shah's team continue in the new team also and continue to call the shots? As it is, I think most of them will remain. There may be some fresh faces. Over a period of time, maybe Nadda will be able to have his own team, but as of now, I see total continuation.
Can JP Nadda guide BJP through this tough phase where it has not been performing up to the mark? Thank you.
As for the BJP's tough phase, yes, since December 2017, BJP has lost 5 states. Although in Lok Sabha, it got 303 seats, but that was, the mandate was for Modi. But when it comes to a state, you see the BJP sliding. So there is this general perception building up that when Modi is the face, people are voting for the party, but otherwise party's appeal is kind of waning. Nadda will have to change that perception. How he does that, we'll all see. But as I said, because he'll be guided by Amit Shah, Narendra Modi, I mean, all the time, at least in initial few months, they are going to handhold him totally. They'll be basically deciding the parties, and they are pretty concerned about what is happening in states today. So I'm sure collectively they will decide how to decide about the next course of action. You are asking whether he has it in him to do this. I believe yes. How he does it, whether he goes by the script given to him by his predecessor, or whether he decides to chart out a new course to arrest this slide, that we'll see.
My name is Arindam. A question for DK Singh on Amit Shah's tenure as the president of BJP. Do you think the BJP looks upon Mother India as an object of veneration to be governed as a service? Or do you think they think of it as a homeland for the Hindus?
But it's not a Hindu party. When you talk about Hindu homeland, I would like to see it in the context of what RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat said yesterday. Now, RSS is the ideological fountainhead of the BJP. And Bhagwat explained yesterday, he was speaking in UP. He said when we talk about Hindus, we are talking about 130 crore Indians. We are not talking about changing anybody's faith or anybody's religion. So, we are all guided by the Constitution of India. So, to that extent, if you go by this interpretation of Hindus, well, you may say that BJP is working for a Hindu homeland. But of course, opposition parties have been accusing the BJP of basically pursuing a Hindutva agenda. And they have been accusing the BJP of being anti-Muslim. The stated philosophy of the government of the party is Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So there will be there should be no discrimination against anybody on the basis of religion. It's also a fact that in India you don't have a single Muslim minister in 15 states. 15 out of 18 states have no Muslim ministers. And of these 15 states, 10 are ruled by the BJP. Now there is only one BJP ruled state where you have a Muslim minister, that is Uttar Pradesh. So these are the anomalies the BJP needs to basically address. But as far as the status philosophy goes, it's Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. And no matter what the opposition parties say, I would like to believe that it's not the Hindu homeland, as you say, it's not the Hindu homeland the BJP is working for.
Hi, I'm Vijay Yana. Nehru and Indira Gandhi were so powerful that they've left a lasting impression. So will Amit Shah be the third name in that list in India's governing structure?
Well, you are probably forgetting the third name, Ms. Narendra Modi. So when you talk about Nehru and Indira and the lasting impressions anybody would make on the governing structure, I would say third name should be Narendra Modi. We have seen Amit Shah is the Home Minister, he has taken some significant decisions, but he has a long way to go before we start thinking about the imprint he will make.
Also, Amit Shah has challenged the existing structure in the BJP when he became the president. With him now busy with his portfolio, will he challenge the governing structure or even change the constitution?
And Vijay, no, I don't really see Amit Shah changing or trying to change the constitution. No, I don't really see that happening. Yes, when he became the party president, he did make some drastic moves, like the Margdarshak Mandal we are talking about, where all the senior leaders were shunted to. He was trying to effect a generational change in the party, actually. What he does in the government, as I said, we are just keeping our fingers crossed, but yes, he does take decisions which are far-reaching and which have serious implications. But then let's not start judging him at this stage.
Hi, my name is Amrita. My question is, can Amit Shah be credited with giving chance to fresh faces, and how much has it hurt the BJP's prospects? Why are there less women in BJP when Shah claims to be a party with a difference?
Amrita, I suppose you are talking about some fresh faces in states which went to polls. You may be talking about Devendra Fadnavis in Maharashtra. As I understand, you may be talking about Manohar Khattar in Haryana or Raghuvar Das in Jharkhand. So they are fresh faces. They are not necessarily young, except Devendra Fadnavis. But they are all fresh faces which did not really come up to the expectations. But yes, Amit Shah has brought a lot of fresh faces. Look at the Tripura Chief Minister, Biplab Dev. Look at the Arunachal Chief Minister, Pema Khandu. They are all fresh faces and they are doing very well. Even within the party hierarchy, you have many new faces. They may not have been able to make their mark yet. But Modi and Amit Shah did try to basically effect that generational change in terms of leadership at various levels. Now you have many state BJP presidents you might not have heard earlier. Now your skill development minister Mahendranath Pandey, for instance, he was the UP BJP chief. So he's a veteran leader, but you might not have noticed him earlier. He is a union minister now. So there are many instances. As for the representation of women in the party or in the government, well, it cuts across party lines. It's the same in every party. And this is a subject probably which needs a more comprehensive discussion. I can do it here. But I'll just say that it's not just in BJP, it's everywhere.
My name is Nikhil and my question is, has BJP lost political humility and scientific temperament under Shah? This has caused the central government cooperation of state governments, of opposition parties and hence governance as a whole. Your opinion?
Nikhil, I agree. We also get the sense that BJP has lost that political humility. Now, if an opposition ruled state is not agreeing to your amendment to the Citizenship Amendment Act, or it is opposing CAA, you cannot be pushing it down their throat. You have to have a dialogue. If you start declaring everybody who is opposing CAA as tukdi gang, you are also talking about governments in states. They may be from opposition parties, but you need to convince them, you need to take them into confidence and then go ahead. You know, when Narendra Modi as the Chief Minister of Gujarat was a big advocate of cooperative federalism. And I think in 2015 or 2017, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, he talked about cooperative and competitive federalism. So when it comes to the stated philosophy of the government, we heard a lot about this. But when it comes to day-to-day dealings, the center is somehow giving an impression that, you know, it doesn't need any dialogue with the states, either my way or highway. And that will have long-term implications. I hope at some stage the Prime Minister realizes the implications of this non-cooperative and non-competitive federalism and tries to mend ways and open dialogue with the states.
Will Nadda be able to change BJP's attitude of constantly being in opposition mode?
Well, I agree to the extent that BJP is always in opposition mode. And it's typical of Amit Shah's politics, or it's typical of Narendra Modi's politics also. So after the change of guard in the party, whether this attitude will change, I don't know, I have serious doubts. Because I don't really see Nadda dictating the party's policy or formulating the party policy. He will be taking his line from Amit Shah, if not the Prime Minister directly. It's Shah who, in the foreseeable future, will continue to take all the calls when it comes to party matters. Where Nadda can make the difference is, you know, when you are the BJP president and you are yourself making provocative statements, then the message that goes down the line is, okay, that's the way to do politics. Nadda is not known for making provocative statements. He is soft-spoken. You never find him belligerent. Probably that attitude will percolate down the line. But again, there is a big if here. If he also decides to follow his predecessor's footsteps, then the result may be completely different. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching this episode of Politically Correct. And please keep sending your questions. That actually helps me, you know, get away from my monologue and talk about things which you are interested in. Thank you very much.